Earth was quiet that morning, almost too quiet. The cities hummed with the usual traffic, and the skies were clear, but there was an unusual tension in the air. People could not explain it, but it felt like something big was about to happen. In the small town of Lincoln Heights, pilot Jack Harper sipped his morning coffee while watching the news on the old television. The newscaster's face looked tense, more than usual. "Reports are coming in from the Global Space Command," the anchor said. "A message from the Galactic Council has been received. Details are still limited, but it appears Earth may be under scrutiny. Officials urge calm." Jack frowned. He had flown missions in space for almost 10 years, but he had never seen anything like this. The Galactic Council was a council of alien civilizations that monitored planets across the galaxy. Humans had been aware of them for decades, but no one expected such a direct warning. "Under scrutiny?" Jack muttered. He looked out the window at the quiet streets. "They don't even know us that well. How could they threaten us?" Meanwhile, across the country, physicist Lena Collins was staring at her computer screen. She worked at the National Research Institute studying space anomalies and advanced physics. Lena had seen strange signals before, but this message was different. It was perfectly clear, almost too simple for such a complex civilization. The message read, "Earth must comply with Galactic Council regulations immediately. Failure to do so will result in elimination. This is not a threat. This is a fact." Lena's hands shook as she read the lines over and over. She had studied alien communication for years, but this message felt different. There was something hidden beneath the words. She contacted her colleague, Jack Harper, who had retired from active piloting but remained connected to research missions. "Jack, you need to see this," Lena said over the secure line. "I think the Council is underestimating us. There is something in this transmission that they are not saying out loud." Jack's brow furrowed. "You mean a hidden message, like a code?" "Yes," Lena replied. "But it's not just a code. It feels like they assume humans cannot solve it. I don't think they expect us to fight back." Jack felt a spark of excitement. It had been months since he had felt real purpose in his life. "Then we have work to do," he said. At the same time, in the Global Space Command headquarters, Admiral Eli Turner paced the floor. He was a man in his late 50s with a calm voice but sharp eyes. He had seen wars and disasters, but nothing prepared him for this. The Council's warning left no room for negotiation. It was final. "Gather the top scientists and pilots," he ordered his aides. "We need answers, and we need them fast. If the Council intends to attack, we have very little time." The world reacted slowly at first. Governments released statements urging calm, but fear spread quickly. People watched the skies for alien ships. Social media filled with speculation and panic. Scientists scrambled to analyze the Council's message. Military leaders studied defense strategies. Jack and Lena worked together in secret, trying to understand what made the message different. Jack decided to visit Lena at the National Research Institute. He drove through the quiet streets of Lincoln Heights, his mind racing. He remembered the missions he had flown, the alien encounters he had witnessed, and the times humans had survived against impossible odds. Humans were resourceful. That was their strength. When he arrived, Lena was already at her workstation, surrounded by screens and holographic projections. She gestured for him to come closer. "Look at this," she said, pointing to a series of strange symbols embedded in the transmission. "They are not just random. These are advanced coordinates, mathematical formulas, and a pattern I've never seen before. They're testing us." Jack leaned over the screen. "Testing us? You mean seeing if we can solve it before they act?" "Yes," Lena said. "It's as if they are daring humans to respond. If we fail, they strike. If we succeed, maybe we survive, maybe even earn their respect." Jack felt a surge of determination. "Then we won't fail." For days, Jack and Lena worked tirelessly. They decoded parts of the message, discovering that the Council was monitoring Earth closely. They wanted to know if humanity was ready to face the galaxy on its own terms. As they worked, they found more surprises. Some parts of the transmission hinted at advanced technology hidden on Earth, long forgotten by humans. Lena's eyes widened as she realized the possibilities. "This could be a weapon," she whispered. "Something that could protect Earth, if we understand it." Jack nodded. "Then we have to find it before they decide to attack. Time is running out." Meanwhile, the Council's fleets moved closer. Huge ships, larger than anything humans had built, appeared in orbit around the solar system. They were silent but ominous, casting shadows over the Earth below. People looked up in fear and wonder, unable to comprehend the scale of what was approaching. Admiral Turner organized a global meeting, connecting military leaders, scientists, and pilots from every continent. Jack and Lena joined the meeting through a secure channel. "We don't have much time," Turner said. "If these ships attack, our defenses are inadequate. But we have something they don't expect. Human ingenuity. We must use every tool, every mind, every resource we have." Lena spoke next. "I believe the Council left clues for a reason. If we can decode their message fully, we might find a way to protect the planet without direct confrontation." Jack added, "And we can't rely only on weapons. We have to think bigger, faster, smarter. Humans survive because we never give up, even against impossible odds. This is one of those odds." The meeting ended with everyone returning to their stations. Lena and Jack stayed behind, poring over the alien formulas. They discovered references to an ancient human project, buried decades ago, designed to manipulate energy on a planetary scale. The project had been abandoned, considered impossible. Now, it might be Earth's only hope. As the sun set over the cities, Jack and Lena looked at the stars, knowing that the Council's ships would arrive soon. Fear and determination mixed in their hearts. Humanity was facing its greatest challenge yet, but for the first time, Jack felt a deep sense of purpose. They were not helpless. They had the chance to show the galaxy that humans were capable of incredible things. In the quiet of the night, strange lights flickered across Lena's laboratory. The formulas glowed faintly on the screens, as if acknowledging the human minds trying to solve them. Jack smiled. "Looks like they're playing a game," he said, "and I never back down from a challenge." Lena nodded. "Then let's make sure we win it." Outside, the stars seemed closer than ever. The Council's ships loomed silently in the distance, waiting to see if Earth would obey or disappear under their wrath. But inside the laboratory, humans were working faster than the Council could imagine. They were thinking, solving, inventing, and preparing. And for the first time, there was hope. The world did not know what was coming. People went to bed that night unaware of the silent watchers above. But Jack and Lena stayed awake, focused on the calculations that could change everything. Every number, every pattern, every symbol mattered. If they failed, Earth would be lost. But if they succeeded, humanity could surprise the galaxy in a way it had never seen before. Hours turned into days. Jack and Lena barely ate or slept, driven by the ticking clock of the Council's approaching fleet. Slowly, piece by piece, they began to understand the transmission. It was not just a warning. It was a puzzle, a test of human intelligence and courage. The Council assumed humans would panic, surrender, or fail, but Jack and Lena refused to believe that. One night, as Lena worked through a particularly complex formula, she suddenly gasped. "Jack, look at this!" Jack came over, rubbing his eyes. "What is it?" This could be it. The coordinates match the hidden project I found. If we activate it, it could shield the planet completely, or move it. The technology is beyond anything they have ever seen from humans." Jack's heart pounded. "Move it? Are you saying we could disappear before they strike? Yes, Lena said, her voice trembling with excitement and fear. It's risky. No one has tested it on this scale. But if it works, Earth will survive. Jack grinned. Then we don't have a choice. We try it. As dawn broke, the first lights of the Council's fleet appeared on the horizon, reflected in the oceans and deserts of Earth. Jack and Lena prepared their plans, knowing that the next hours could decide the fate of the planet. Humanity had never faced such a test before, and yet the most remarkable thing was that humans were ready to fight not with brute force alone, but with their minds, their courage, and their ingenuity. The Council expected obedience. Earth expected survival. And somewhere in the quiet spaces between the stars, the stage was set for a moment that would change humanity forever. Jack looked at Lena. No matter what happens, we do this together. Lena nodded. Together. And with that, the countdown to the unknown began. The morning sky over Earth was filled with strange shapes. Jack Harper stood on the observation deck of the Global Space Command Station, staring at the enormous fleet that had appeared just outside Earth's orbit. The ships were massive, smooth, and unlike anything humans had ever seen. They glowed faintly with energy that seemed alive. Millions of people around the world looked up in awe and fear. Jack, do you really think our plan can work? Lena Collins asked, standing beside him. Her eyes were tired but bright with determination. Jack shook his head slowly. I don't know, but we have no other choice. The Council thinks they're invincible, but they haven't met humans like us yet. Admiral Eli Turner joined them on the deck. He was calm as ever, but there was a tension in his jaw. The Council's ships are faster and more powerful than anything in our arsenal. If they attack directly, Earth will not survive. That's why we are counting on Lena and Jack's discovery. Every moment counts. Lena nodded. She had spent sleepless nights decoding the Council's message, tracing patterns to a hidden human project that had been abandoned decades ago. It was a planetary-scale device designed to manipulate space and energy on a massive level. The project had been considered impossible, too dangerous to test. But now, it was humanity's only hope. Jack, we need to access the main control center, Lena said. The device is buried under the Arctic research base. No one has used it in years, but the coordinates match exactly with what we found in the transmission. Jack's eyes narrowed. Then we go. We can't waste time waiting for the Council to make the first move. The Arctic research base was isolated and cold. Snowstorms and icy winds made travel difficult, but a special transport ship moved quickly through the clouds. Jack piloted it expertly, while Lena monitored the energy readings from the device below. This is bigger than I imagined, Lena whispered as they approached the base. The Council may think Earth is fragile, but this could change everything. Jack nodded. Let's hope it works. For everyone's sake. They landed at the base, the metal doors creaking as they opened. Inside, the facility was quiet and abandoned. Dust covered the equipment and old consoles blinked weakly. Lena led Jack to the main chamber where a massive console dominated the room. Lights flickered across the walls as she ran her hands over the controls. Jack, I need you to help me activate it, Lena said. We have to synchronize it with the planetary grid. One mistake, and it could fail, or worse. Jack placed his hands on the console, following her instructions. He pressed buttons and adjusted levers while Lena typed in complex formulas. The air in the room seemed to hum, as if the device itself was waking up. Suddenly, alarms blared from the Arctic base. They've detected our activity, Lena said. She looked at the monitors and saw a small fleet of the Council's ships descending toward them, scanning the planet. Jack tightened his grip on the controls. Then we work faster. No turning back now. The device began to glow, sending beams of energy into the sky. The ground trembled slightly, and the lights in the base flickered. Lena and Jack watched nervously as the energy readings climbed. Outside, the council's ships hesitated. They had never seen anything like this before. Their sensors detected a massive energy surge, something beyond their understanding. It was human technology, old and abandoned, but it was alive in a way the aliens had not expected. Back in the Arctic base, Lena typed the final commands. "Jack, this is it. The device will attempt a full planetary shield. If it works, it could block or even move Earth. But it has never been tested on this scale. Are you ready?" Jack swallowed hard. "I've never been more ready in my life." He pressed the final button. A bright light filled the room, blinding them for a moment. The ground shook harder, and the energy readings on the monitors went off the charts. Lena and Jack held on to the console as the hum of the device grew louder and louder, vibrating through their bones. Outside, the Council's ships were caught in the energy surge. Their sensors went haywire, and some of their smaller ships began to spin uncontrollably. The largest vessels tried to adjust their orbit, but the energy around Earth was growing too strong. On the streets of major cities, people felt a strange vibration under their feet. Birds took flight, and animals ran in confusion. The sky glowed faintly as the device activated. For a few terrifying moments, it seemed as if the planet itself might tear apart. Then, suddenly, it stopped. The light faded, and silence returned. The Arctic base shook one last time before everything went still. Lena and Jack looked at each other, holding their breath. "Did it work?" Jack asked, voice shaking. Lena checked the monitors. Her eyes widened. "It did. Earth. It's gone. Not destroyed, gone. The planet has been moved to a location outside the Council's sensors. They can't find us." Jack exhaled in disbelief. "We did it! We actually did it!" Meanwhile, the Council's fleet spun in confusion. Their sensors could not detect Earth. They sent out probes and scans, but the planet had vanished. Panic spread among their commanders. They had expected to crush a primitive world, but instead, humanity had disappeared. Back in the Arctic base, Lena and Jack celebrated quietly. They knew the world above would never understand what had happened. Earth was safe, hidden from the eyes of the galaxy. Humanity had survived against impossible odds, using brains instead of brute force. Admiral Turner joined them remotely via secure channel. "I can't believe it," he said, his voice filled with awe. "Earth is gone. And alive. You two have done something no one thought possible." Jack smiled tiredly. "It wasn't just us. It was everyone. Humans never give up. We find a way." Lena nodded. "And now we have a chance to prepare. The Council may come looking again, but this time, we will be ready. They will learn that humans are not so easy to control." Outside, in the quiet of hidden space, Earth floated among the stars, invisible and protected. The ocean still shimmered, forests swayed in gentle winds, and cities remained intact. Humanity had been given a second chance, a chance to grow, learn, and defend itself without fear. Jack and Lena looked at each other, exhausted but proud. They had faced the impossible and survived. And as they began planning for the future, one thought stayed with them. Humans were stronger than anyone had ever believed. For the first time, the galaxy would not see Earth as a simple world to conquer. They would see it as a planet with humans capable of incredible things, a planet that could not be destroyed so easily. The Council, frustrated and confused, began sending messages, trying to locate the missing planet. But their efforts were futile. Earth had vanished, hidden by human ingenuity and courage. And somewhere in the hearts of Jack, Lena, and millions of humans, there was a quiet satisfaction. Humanity had survived, and the galaxy would have to respect them in ways it had never done before. Even as they worked to stabilize the device, Lena turned to Jack. "We've done the impossible, but this is just the beginning. The galaxy is watching, and we have to be ready for whatever comes next. Jack nodded. Then we keep moving forward, one step at a time. Humans always do. Outside, the stars shone bright. Earth was hidden, safe, and alive. And for the first time in history, humans had shown the galaxy that they were not to be underestimated. The Council had issued a warning. Humanity had answered, not with submission, but with action. And the galaxy had just witnessed the beginning of something that would change the balance of power forever. Jack looked at the console, watching the planet's energy readings stabilize. Lena stood beside him, exhausted but smiling. They knew the road ahead would be long and full of challenges, but for now, Earth was safe, and that was all that mattered. Somewhere, far from the eyes of the galaxy, Earth floated in quiet space, a hidden gem, a secret fortress, and a promise of human strength and courage. Jack put his hand on Lena's shoulder. We did it. Humanity survived, and we'll make sure it thrives. Lena smiled, her eyes shining. Yes, and one day, the Council will learn that humans are never as weak as they think. The Arctic winds howled outside, but inside the base, there was warmth, hope, and a sense of accomplishment. Humanity had faced extinction and had won. The galaxy had underestimated them, and that was a mistake no one would forget. Earth floated silently in a new part of space, far from the eyes of the Galactic Council. The planet was intact, its oceans deep and blue, its forests green and alive, and its cities untouched. Jack Harper stood on a ridge near the Arctic Research Base, looking at the horizon where the snow met the sky. The world felt quiet, almost peaceful, but he knew better. It's beautiful, Lena Collins said, standing beside him. Almost like nothing happened. Jack shook his head. It's quiet, yes, but we can't forget. The Council will keep looking. They'll send probes, maybe even fleets. We have to be ready. Lena nodded. We have time now. Time to study, prepare, and strengthen Earth. We can learn from the technology we activated. We can improve it. The first days were tense. People all over Earth slowly realized that their planet had vanished from the maps and sensors of the rest of the galaxy. Panic turned to awe when leaders explained that humanity had survived a threat that no one else had faced. Jack and Lena became central figures in coordinating the planet's safety and planning for the future. One morning, Lena was in the control room of the Arctic base, analyzing data from the planetary device. Jack, look at this, she called. He hurried over, rubbing his eyes from lack of sleep. What is it? He asked. The Council has sent probes, Lena said. Small ships, not armed but scanning for Earth. They are curious, trying to find out where we went. We can see them on our sensors, but they can't detect us fully. The shielding works. Jack smiled. Then we get to watch them. They won't find us. Not yet. But Lena looked serious. We can't just hide forever. They will come back with larger ships, stronger fleets. We need to be prepared. And we need allies. Jack frowned. Allies? Who? We're alone in this part of space. Yes, Lena replied. But maybe not for long. There are civilizations that the Council fears, civilizations that the Council avoids. We can learn from them, trade knowledge, maybe even gain friends. Humans have never needed help before, but now, it might be smart to be cautious. Jack nodded slowly. All right, then step 1, explore. Step 2, prepare. Step 3, make sure Earth can survive anything. They began building a small fleet of exploration ships, designed to be fast and quiet. Scientists, engineers, and pilots from every continent worked together. People were motivated, excited, and proud. For the first time, the world felt united not by fear, but by purpose. Jack was assigned to lead the first exploration mission. The ship was small, sleek, and capable of long-range travel. Lena provided guidance from the base, monitoring energy readings and calculations. The mission launched quietly into the darkness of hidden space. Stars stretched endlessly around them. Jack felt a mixture of fear and excitement. "First mission out," he said to his co-pilot, Maria Hill, a skilled navigator with nerves of steel. "Let's see what's out there." They traveled for days, using the coordinates Lena provided. Everything was quiet at first, almost peaceful. But as they moved farther from the hidden planet, their sensors detected faint signals, strange readings that did not match any known star systems. "Jack, look at this," Maria said, pointing at the monitors. "Something's out there, not ships, not planets, something else." Jack frowned. "Can it be a probe? Maybe the Council's?" "Possibly," Maria said. "Or maybe it's something new, something we haven't seen before." They adjusted their course to get a closer look. As they approached, the object became clearer. It was small, silver, and shaped like a teardrop. Lights pulsed along its surface. It moved silently, almost as if it were alive. "Scan it," Jack ordered. Maria's fingers flew over the controls. "It's sending out energy waves, but not hostile, just scanning. It hasn't detected us yet." Jack leaned back. "Good. Let's see what it wants. Carefully." The probe moved closer, orbiting silently. Lena's voice came through the communicator. "Jack, don't touch it. Observe and record. We need data. Not trouble." Jack nodded. "Understood. Let's watch." Hours passed. The probe moved like it was studying the ship, then the ship's course, and finally the planet itself. Jack realized it was intelligent, but cautious. It was not meant to harm humans. It was gathering information. "This is incredible," Lena said. "The Council underestimated humans again. Not just our planet, but our thinking, our technology. This probe won't harm us if we stay calm." Jack agreed. "Then let's see what we can learn from it." The days that followed were full of careful study. The probe moved away, returning to deep space. But it had left traces of energy, patterns that Lena and her team could analyze. They discovered that the probe was capable of sending messages back to the Council. Earth's hiding place was safe, for now, but it could not remain hidden forever. Meanwhile, back on Earth, the human population began adjusting to their hidden world. Resources were carefully managed. Cities learned to operate in secret, avoiding the temptation to draw attention. People trained, studied, and prepared. Children learned about the galaxy and the dangers beyond. Humanity was growing stronger, smarter, and more united than ever. Jack and Lena spent long hours planning the next missions. "We can't just hide," Lena said. "We need to explore, understand, and prepare. Knowledge is our weapon now." Jack nodded. "And we'll be ready when they come back. Humans have never backed down from impossible odds, and we won't start now." They sent out more exploration ships, mapping nearby systems, studying stars, and searching for other civilizations. Every discovery was recorded, every signal analyzed. Humans were learning fast. The first probe had underestimated them, and humanity would make sure the Council never made the same mistake again. One day, during a routine mission, Jack's team discovered a small alien ship hidden behind a gas cloud. Unlike the Council's vessels, it was damaged, barely moving, and sending out weak energy signals. "Jack, it's alive," Maria said. "But barely. It might need help." Jack thought for a moment. "Do we risk it? Helping it could reveal us, but leaving it, I don't know." Lena's voice came through the communicator. "If it's intelligent, we can learn from it. Carefully, Jack. Observe, but don't alarm it. Humans survive not by ignoring others, but by making smart choices." Jack nodded. "All right." We approached slowly. They moved closer. The alien ship's surface was cracked, and faint lights flickered inside. Jack felt a mixture of curiosity and caution. "It's a small vessel," he said. "Maybe a scout. Whoever's inside didn't expect to be found." The crew watched as a hatch slowly opened. A figure emerged, tall and thin, with silver skin and glowing eyes. It looked at them, confused and wary. Jack raised a hand slowly. "Do you need help?" he asked in basic interstellar communication, a form the probe had taught humans. The alien hesitated, then nodded slightly. It was clear it could not communicate fully, but it understood their intentions. Lena guided them. "Be careful. They are intelligent, but scared. Approach with caution, and we may gain knowledge we've never had before." Jack stepped forward. "We can help you repair your ship. We don't want trouble. We just want to survive, and maybe we can be allies." The alien studied them, then slowly moved toward the ship. Jack realized that this was the first sign of something new. Humanity could survive alone, but now they might also learn to interact with other civilizations, even ones that were once enemies or unknown. Back on Earth, news of the hidden fleet, the exploration missions, and the rescued alien would remain secret. Only a few knew. But the humans involved understood that their world had changed forever. Humanity was no longer simply a planet to be observed or ignored. They were a force to be reckoned with, clever, resourceful, and brave. Days turned into weeks. Jack, Lena, and their teams continued to explore, repair, and learn. They discovered more probes, more traces of alien activity, and slowly began mapping nearby systems. Every mission strengthened their knowledge and confidence, and yet they knew the Council would not give up. Earth's disappearance had been a shock, but it would not be forgotten. At some point, the Council would return, stronger, more determined, and maybe even angry. Jack and Lena prepared for that day. They trained pilots, scientists, and engineers. They strengthened the hidden cities and built defenses that no one outside could see. They studied alien technology and developed new ways to hide, strike, and survive. Through it all, one thought remained clear. Humanity had faced extinction and survived. Now they would grow stronger, smarter, and more united than ever. The Council had underestimated them once. Humans would not allow it to happen again. Jack looked at Lena one evening as they watched the stars from the Arctic base. "They think they can threaten us, but they don't know humans. They don't know what we're capable of." Lena smiled. "Then we show them. Slowly, carefully. But one day they will understand. We are not weak. We are strong, and we survive." And somewhere, far beyond the eyes of the galaxy, Earth floated silently, hidden but alive, a small blue gem in a sea of stars, waiting for the day humanity would step forward and show the universe its true power. Earth remained hidden in a quiet corner of space, far from the eyes of the Galactic Council. For weeks, humanity had worked tirelessly, strengthening cities, preparing defenses, and training fleets. Jack Harper and Lena Collins had become leaders not just in technology, but in strategy. Every move they made had a purpose, to protect the planet and show the galaxy that humans were not to be underestimated. But the silence could not last forever. From the distance of known space, Council ships appeared once more. This time they were larger and more numerous, moving with purpose. Their goal was clear: find the missing planet, locate humans, and enforce the Council's authority. Jack stood on the observation deck of the Arctic base, watching the stars flare with the energy of the approaching fleet. "They've found the area," he said grimly. "It's only a matter of time before they detect Earth." Lena joined him, her eyes scanning the monitors. "We've prepared for this. They think Earth is weak. They think humans will panic. But they are wrong. Today, they will see what humans are capable of." Admiral Eli Turner appeared on the screen, his face calm but determined. "All units report readiness. Shields are fully operational. Defense grids are active. Exploration ships are in position. Humanity will fight smart, not just with weapons, but with intelligence. This is our chance to show the galaxy we cannot be conquered." Jack nodded. "Then let's make them regret underestimating us." The Council fleet approached silently, unaware that Earth had not only hidden itself but had also grown stronger. Jack and Lena activated the planetary shield and energy grids. The device they had used to hide Earth now formed the first line of defense. Energy pulsed across the atmosphere, invisible to the naked eye, but capable of repelling the Council's sensors. As the Council ships drew closer, their main scanners detected strange interference. Signals became garbled. Probes failed to transmit data back to the fleet. The aliens looked at each other in confusion. Earth seemed to vanish from their instruments, even as their ships hovered above the hidden planet. Jack and Lena watched the monitors, hearts pounding. "They don't know we're here," Lena said, voice tense but calm. "We have the advantage. Now we strike." The first move was subtle. Using the device that hid Earth, Lena manipulated energy waves around the fleet. Council ships began to lose cohesion, their smaller vessels spinning as controls failed. Communications between the ships were disrupted. The aliens had never faced this kind of defense before. Jack smiled grimly. "They think they control everything. But humans control what they can't see." Then came the second move. Humanity's fleet, small but fast, launched from hidden bases across the planet. Ships of all sizes emerged from cloaked positions, moving with precision. Pilots trained for months now executed maneuvers that no alien could predict. They struck weak points, disabled energy conduits, and targeted engines. The Council fleet faltered, taken aback by the coordination and intelligence of their opponents. From the Arctic base, Lena monitored energy flows, adjusting the planetary device in real time. "Jack, we can push them further. We can create a field that interferes with their weapons. Their energy beams will fail before they even reach the planet." Jack's eyes gleamed. "Do it. Let's show them humans aren't defenseless." Energy fields surged across space. Council weapons malfunctioned as soon as they fired. Ships were disabled before they could land strikes. Humans were not merely defending, they were controlling the battlefield. Every move was clever, strategic, and precise. Still, the Council was not weak. Their largest vessels began to coordinate, sending massive energy waves toward Earth. Cities braced as alarms blared, but Lena and Jack had anticipated this. The planetary device absorbed the waves, redirecting energy harmlessly into space. The Earth remained untouched, while the Council fleet grew frustrated and confused. Jack's fleet continued to strike, disabling more ships, capturing small vessels, and forcing larger ships to retreat. Human pilots, guided by intelligence and ingenuity, used every trick they knew. They made the Council underestimate them again and again. At one point, Jack's own ship was targeted by a large Council vessel. He maneuvered skillfully, dodging blasts while keeping his focus on strategy. "Maria, adjust the shields. Lena, give me a clear path to disable that ship's engines." Maria worked quickly, moving the ship through a series of complex evasive maneuvers. Lena's voice guided them from the base. "Jack, divert power to the secondary grids. You can do it. Aim for the engine core. One hit and it's out of the fight." Jack fired a calculated shot. The Council ship shuddered, its engines exploding in a controlled chain reaction. The rest of the fleet faltered further, unable to maintain formation. For the first time, the aliens realized that humans were not only hiding, they were capable of overwhelming intelligence and unexpected power. Meanwhile, on the surface of Earth, cities watched the sky. Large, transparent shields projected faintly above the planet, protecting entire continents. People could see flashes of energy as the Council ships attempted attacks, but all failed. Humanity's defense was invisible, clever, and unstoppable. Admiral Turner addressed the people through secure channels. "Do not panic. Stay calm. Humanity has proven it can survive the impossible. Our fleets are strong, our defenses are ready, and our minds are sharper than anything they anticipate. Today, we show the galaxy that Earth is not to be conquered. Jack and Lena worked tirelessly for hours, adjusting energy flows, guiding ships, and analyzing enemy patterns. The Council, frustrated and confused, began to retreat. They had expected a simple conquest, but instead they faced a planet capable of strategy, intelligence, and surprise. Lena smiled faintly. "Jack, look at them. They thought they could scare us. Now they know better." Jack nodded. "They learned the hard way. Humans never surrender. We survive, we fight smart, and we win." The Council withdrew for now, but not without warning. A transmission arrived, flickering across the monitors. "Earth, this is not over. You will pay for defiance. The Council does not forget." Jack read the message aloud, his voice steady. "They think they can scare us, but they don't know humans. They've never faced us before." Lena added, "And they won't forget this either. Today we proved that humans are clever, brave, and unstoppable when cornered. We've bought ourselves time, and that time will be used wisely." Across the hidden planet, humanity celebrated quietly. They knew the Council would return, stronger and smarter, but they also knew that humans had something no alien could replicate: ingenuity, courage, and unity. Jack returned to the base after hours in space. He looked out at the planet, glowing with energy fields and shields, its cities alive with activity. "We did it," he said softly. "Earth is safe. For now." Lena joined him, placing a hand on his shoulder. "We've survived the impossible, Jack, and we'll survive whatever comes next. Humans always do." The Council fleet, far away in empty space, regrouped. They had faced something unexpected, a species they had assumed would be weak and compliant. Earth had disappeared, then fought back. Humanity had shown them intelligence, courage, and resourcefulness. The aliens would remember this day. Back on Earth, Jack and Lena prepared for the future. They trained pilots, scientists, and leaders. They improved the planetary device, upgraded fleets, and continued exploring hidden corners of space. The first battle had been won, but the war for survival and respect in the galaxy had just begun. Jack looked at Lena one night as they reviewed the battle logs. "They'll come back," he said, "and next time it will be even harder." Lena nodded. "We'll be ready. They underestimated humans once. They won't make the same mistake again. And we'll make sure Earth never falls, no matter what." Outside, the stars shone bright over the hidden planet. Earth floated silently, protected by energy fields and human ingenuity. The Council had underestimated humans, and now the galaxy knew Earth was not just a planet. It was home to a species capable of the impossible. Jack smiled faintly. "We survived, Lena. We faced the impossible, and we won." Lena returned the smile. "And we'll continue to survive. Humans always find a way." The Council might return. The galaxy might challenge them again. But humanity had learned a valuable lesson. Cleverness, courage, and determination could overcome even the most powerful enemy. And Earth, hidden but alive, was ready for whatever came next. The first confrontation was over. Humanity had won, not with raw power alone, but with intelligence, strategy, and unyielding courage. The galaxy had seen the rise of a species it could not easily control. And somewhere in the darkness of space, hidden from the Council's eyes, Earth prepared for the future.